Hi, Jeffrey Siegel. Thank you so much for joining me today at the McCallum Theatre via Zoom. I am excited because you have a show coming up here on February 16th and another one on March 16th, but the first one is themed on Schubert. Can you share with me what that inspiration for doing a focus on Schubert is?
The program is called Schubert the Soulful and the Sublime. Schubert is one of the most popular composers of the great masters. People love to listen to the music of Franz Schubert. Uh, he's the most human in many ways of all the great composers. He speaks to another human being very directly, and he had the ability to write beautiful melodies, melodies that are immediately engaging, that touch the heart, that engage the ear, that stay in the musical memory. It's one of the reasons why worldwide people love to listen to the music of Schubert. And we have a vast array of musical compositions of Schubert, um, compositions that he wrote for his own amusement, to sit down and play, to raise his spirits. And we have some very personal music that he wrote just 6 weeks before his terribly early death at the age of 31.
Wow, that's a lot of accomplishment by the age of 31, it seems. Now, when people come to see keyboard conversations and you're discussing a composer such as Schubert, what can they expect during the show? Like, how is the show formatted? And I understand that you're like at 56 years with this show now in different incarnations.
The longest running series of keyboard conversations is in Chicago at Northwestern University. And yes, this is our 56th season. Um,
Incredible.
uh, Keyboard conversations are concerts with commentary. I should stress that they are primarily concerts. Every work on the program is performed in its entirety. What we like to think of as being the plus is that prior to the performance of each work, I speak briefly about the composition in non technical language. Uh, and my hope is that in the process of doing this, it makes the listening experience for the person uh, much more involving than just sitting there and absorbing the sound. It's an enhancing musical experience for people who've already heard these pieces, uh, but it's also a wonderful introduction to these great pieces of music for people who perhaps have not heard them before. And so it's a dual purpose that I have in speaking a bit before sitting down to play these pieces complete. I'm hoping whatever I say makes that listening experience um, uh, more attractive and also more enriching.
Very, very cool. I think it's an amazing format. I did get to catch a little bit of it last time you were here. And with what little knowledge I have of classical, it certainly gets you interested, which is amazing because these people had such amazing lives and stories, which actually leads me to, as a comedy fan, your next one on March 16th is humor in music. And I'm very intrigued by that. Can you elaborate on what that is about?
Many great composers wrote music which makes one smile, even laugh inside, and have very often very humorous inspirations for a piece of music. We have compositions on the program like Aaron Copland's The Cat and the Mouse, and you really hear the chase going on in the music, and you wonder at the end, does the cat get the mouse or not? We have the Circus Polka of Igor Stravinsky, which was written on commission from Madison Square Garden so that it could be danced by elephants. Now, what sort of music would you imagine a composer is going to come up with to be danced by elephants? We have several pieces on the program that are scherzos. Scherzo is an Italian word meaning a joke or a jest, and composers writing light-hearted music, music intended to make you smile and to make you feel good. So it's a feel-good program, this program coming up on the 16th of March.
That sounds amazing. Now, you've been at the McCallum for quite some time. How many shows do you think you've done here if you were to take a guess?
We've done 4 programs a season, and I think we are in season 24. So next season would be
Incredible.
25th anniversary. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, I know you have a fan base here that looks forward to each show, and I wanted to just, kind of reach beyond that scope and let people know what you're doing. And that's why I thought you explaining this a little bit more would be a good idea.
I I
So
appreciated the invitation to do this because we are living in the most automated age there has ever been. And I
yes,
think people need to be touched with what great music has to offer. There are many people out there who realize they're missing something great in life, not to have Beethoven. And they're looking for what a friend of mine called a gentle inoculation into the joys of classical music. And there are also people out there who've heard Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata many times, for example,
sure,
but they would like to listen on a more meaningful level than just sitting back and absorbing the sound. So our audience in California and in all the places where I give the programs are made up of very avid music lovers and people who've never been to a concert before. And I know about this because each program concludes with a short question and answer bit. So
sure.
I know who's out there. And I've had people say, I've never heard this piece before. I've never been to a concert before, and I'm so glad I was here. I've heard the Moonlight Sonata many times, but I really enjoyed it on a more meaningful level than absorbing the sound. So it's very gratifying work for me to do. And the audience, I have to say, at the McCallum is very devoted, and it inspires me to do the best I can for an audience that listens carefully and appreciates what this music is about.
Absolutely amazing. I feel like you're performing a service because it does kind of bridge a gap. And I think it's also, there's a warmth and a friendliness too that you don't feel intimidated, which I certainly appreciated. And we appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on February 16th, where I'll sneak in and get to see a little bit more.
I look forward to that very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. And I will, again, get to see you very soon. And everybody here is looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.